This is the podcast that we ask our guests from in front and behind the camera, how did they get their foot in the door? What was the key to unlocking their success? What's their story?
There's Dan. Dan! 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 No, he's not seeing me. I'll get him later. Dan! Fine.
Welcome to a bonus episode of A Life in Film. Actor and writer Steve Coogan is much more than just comedy icon Alan Partridge. Join us as we ask him, what's his story? The podcast is essentially about, how people started, and I'd love to just ask, where did your sort of love of performance come? When did you start, and how did that kind of come about?
Well, I wasn't particularly academic at school. I did funny voices. I did impersonations. I watched a lot of television. I consumed television. It was in the era between where there were no video recorders and you had to watch things as they were broadcast. There was no way of recording a program at all. So you had to watch it as it went out. And so therefore I became a kind of human video recorder because I'd watch these shows and people would ask me what they were like and I would try to recreate them or recreate scenes from comedy or drama or whatever, and try and do the voices. And I had a good ear, so I learned to pretend to be these people on television. And I really was that, like, what's that guy, the kid in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, TV Mike, or he's called TV.
Oh, yeah.
Who just that's who I was. I was just everything I saw on TV I would regurgitate, and so I had a good ear, and I was able to impersonate people. And people would often say, "Oh God, you really? How do you do that voice? How do you do that voice?" And people would say when I went to secondary school, "Oh, you should be on TV. You should be on TV." And people said it quite a lot. I thought, well, maybe I should. I'm not much good at anything else.
She was only 60. You're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off.
That's Michael Caine. And I wasn't academically that good, but I knew that I could do. I did have a good ear. And I wanted to do something like that. I thought I'd like to, work in. I didn't have any great passion for art. I just wanted to do it looked like fun. Mm-hmm. And so in the end I went to drama school. I got into I sort of left college sixth form. I didn't have very good A-level results. I applied to all the drama schools. I thought that's what you did, and I didn't get in at any of the London ones, but I did get in at Manchester Met, which was then called Manchester Polytechnic, to their School of Theatre. And really from there I started doing voiceovers, and I got on TV quite early. I was 22 years old. I was on London Live at the Palladium because I developed a stand-up comedy act that I was doing outside college. I wanted to, and I mean, I've ended up as a sort of producer, actor, screenwriter, comedy writer. I do a bit of everything, really. Mm-hmm. But it sort of all happened by default. And because I went the strange, circuitous routes, because I was in comedy thinking, I'm getting work, but it's not really what I want. So once I got my foot in the door, I just edged sideways into where I really wanted to be. And where I am now today is what I wanted to be doing, really. Mm-hmm. Not that I had a great passion to write, but I only wrote because I had to write material for myself because no one else was giving me any work. So I had to create my own work.
Yeah, fair play.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, no, that's that's the dream, isn't it, really? And
yeah,
it's congratulations, man, because you're writing some amazing things, and I really enjoy all the work you do.
It's the key thing that I did is collaborate. Is I've not done anything by myself. I collaborate with good, talented, creative people who are, who want to communicate and are artists. Are sort of intuitive artists in that they want to be different, inventive, and but communicate things to make things accessible. yeah. So, but finding smart people and forming bonds with them is why I've done as relatively well, is because I've got different relationships that are all fruitful and are all different, all bring something else at me. If you collaborate with someone, that will bring something different out in you. And so I'm always keen to do that. I love the communion of collaborating rather than just sitting on my own, tapping away. And some people are very good at that. I'm not.
And this is a personal question for me, just to ask it. Like, obviously, your company, Baby Cow, and all the shows that they do. If someone to get a script across their desk, and this is personally for me now, this is nothing to do with the podcast, but to get a script across the desk and get it read, do you need to have a literary agent? Is that kind of you need to?
Well, I mean, I personally wouldn't read any unsolicited scripts, not because of anything against. There might be something brilliant about it, but otherwise,
there's so many. I guess
I wouldn't have any time to actually make the things I want to make. Plus, I have trouble selling some of. I've got like 4 or 5 things that I wrote years ago. I'm still trying to get off the ground. And people won't commission them. So I don't have any kind of open door anywhere. I have to go and try and justify why I want someone to buy something just as much as anyone else. Sometimes people think that because I've been around so long that I just walk in and go, I want to make this. And they go, yeah, kind of whatever you want, Steve. It just doesn't work like that. So I'm as preoccupied trying to get my own stuff off the ground. Someone comes along and goes, can you get this off the ground for me? I'm like, well, I can't do no one's making my own stuff. I mean, I would say that 30% of the stuff I write gets made. 30%.
Wow, that's mind-blowing.
So the idea that if I go, I really like your script, people go, we're off to the races. No, you're not, because I like my own scripts and they aren't being commissioned.
That's a good point.
But that's me personally. So basically, this unsolicited ain't going to get read just because of filtration process. Because yes, there might be some genius out there, but there are other people there who will read stuff. But even then, it's got to have been represented by someone. Otherwise, when you run a company, you have to pay everyone's wages, and the only way you can pay people's wages is if shows are being made. And if they're made, then you get a budget, and then you can put the cost to the budget. So that ends up paying the wages of the people you employ. Otherwise, you're just spending money and hemorrhaging money. So you need to be creating content to pay people's wages. So that means that they have to be focused and not just reading things all the time, because that won't earn them a living or earn the company a living to be able to pay them a wage. So what you do is you have to filter, and the filter means that someone needs to be represented. They've got an agent who has a reputation. They go, will you read this? And someone else at the company will read it. And then if they think it's got, and then it's like, it's not just if you like something, can it be sold to it? Is that, what do we know about what's being commissioned? Who wants what, where there might be an opening, and that's all those strategies are being applied to the stuff that we generate in-house. However, that's not to say if something's is properly represented, and is written and is like I say, it's got the proper representation and is written, then it will be taken seriously. But it's that's all. It just has to be properly represented. And someone presents it and say, this is what it is, this could be this, then someone will read it. But it is, I mean, it has to have, and then if it's something you go, wow, this is really good, then that's a good starting point. But if it's like, this is half a good idea, or the one thing that we won't do is like, is people come along with ideas or synopsis. I'm like, well, what we're not short of is good ideas or synopsis. What we're short of is good writers. Loads of people have got good ideas. Not many people are good writers. So I do often get people who say, I know this guy has got this great idea. I'm like, I'm already not interested, because unless he's written it, unless he's I'm not sure of good ideas. I've got a stack of good ideas taller than I am. what I need is good writers. And you go, he's a brilliant, I know, if someone goes, I got a brilliant idea, I'm like, whatever. If someone goes, I know a brilliant writer, I'm like, okay, show me his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's way more useful to me. There's a really good writer, let me see your stuff, and I go, this is great. I can use this guy on this, but I've got a great idea. Do you know any good writers? Forget it.
Done! 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 Yeah, done! Done!
Done! Done! Yeah, done!
Thank you to our guest Steve, his team at Baby Cow, and our sponsor, BetterHelp. If you enjoyed this, please go and watch the Northern Soul 10-year anniversary episode, which features a more in-depth chat with Steve.
It's an